Hey there, nerds. Jasmine and Cubby here with some comic book reviews for you.
Woo woo!
Word.
Hey there guys, Cubby here, and I got to read Venom 13.1, which is actually part of the Circle of Four story arc. It's the second part, which you don't need to know anything about the first part. It catches you up right away in like the first couple pages. As far as Venom goes, it's the first Venom issue I've read, and it actually blew me away. It's not Rick Remender anymore, which kind of sucks, but this new guy kind of knows what he's doing. The artwork is really, really awesome. It's kind of a old school 90s-ish look and feel to it, but with like a modern presenting, the way technology is advanced. You kind of see that, and it looks really, really beautiful. It's very arty and very cartoonish, but it still turns out really well. And plus it's Ghost Rider, and it's fire and flames, and that looks really cool too. So definitely check it out. I'm gonna give this book 3.5 Nerd Skulls, just because it's a little weird, but definitely awesome book. Hey there guys, Cubby here, and I got to review Batwoman #6. Now, this book has been one of my favorites, and it still is. J.H. Williams didn't do artwork on this issue, which I thought was gonna kind of take me out of it. Not a problem. The person that took over looks almost exactly like him, keeps the same style, same visual panels, moving in awesome, cool, dynamic ways. The story kind of explains a little what was going on in the past with La Llorona and all the deaths and kind of answering a lot of the unanswered questions, which we all appreciate. As far as score goes, I would totally give this a 4, but it was just a little off kilter. It didn't answer a lot of questions. It had a great cliffhanger, so I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Hey there guys, Cubby here with my comic reviews this week. I got to read the Ninjettes #1. Now this book comes out of Jennifer Blood, which I don't have too much familiarity with, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need to know anything about that book. I jumped into it and it made sense completely. The story is really interesting, kind of a revenge tale flipped on its head. I don't want to give too much away, but it is very action-packed, very surprising, and definitely one of those books that drops the jaw a couple times. So I'm going to give this book 4.5 Nerd Skulls. It was really, really good, and I'm going to go back and read some Jennifer Blood.
Hey guys, this is Haley with my review of Blue Estate #9. I got excited because I saw that there were going to be some Star Wars references in it. Unfortunately, I couldn't hang in long enough to follow it in order to get to the Star Wars references. I saw a few, and then I just kind of had to stop. Even Star Wars couldn't save it. It was too stereotypical mob, and as much as I enjoyed the art, which had a nice like classic view, I couldn't really. It wasn't enough to hold my interest, so I'm only going to give it about 2.5 Nerd Skulls.
I was able to read Scarlet Spider #2. This book is amazing. It's continuing the story of Peter Parker's clone as he tries to go to Mexico, and I love it. It's like Spider-Man, it's got Spider-Man's powers, but he's so much more brutal, so much more ridiculous. I mean, during one part, he's in a fight, and the girl he's trying to save gets in between him and the fight, and he's like, move, I'm gonna fight, and he just throws her to the side. Like, it is so cool, so brutal, such amazing art, such a cool storyline. The only complaint I have is I want him to be more brutal. Like, there's parts where he kind of is like, oh, I should hold back and be a good person. I'm like, no, kill him, fight him, do it, do it, do it. Like, honestly, that is my only complaint, is like, I want more. And if a book is constantly making me want more of it, I'm considering that a good thing, and I'm easily giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I got to read Everything's Kevin Keller #1. This is a branch off of the Archie series about their new character, and I was surprised about how good it was. I mean, I'm not an Archie fan, and so I wasn't expecting much from it, but it was really good story about his first date, which is significant because it's the first substantial homosexual character in the Archie comics. And it was actually really good. I mean, if you're not an Archie fan, probably wouldn't recommend it because you're not gonna really care about any of the characters, but if you are, definitely check it out. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I read Artifacts #14, and it was really good. I've been reading since the beginning, and I love the old series except for it seemed a little too scattered, too much going on from one storyline, and they really fixed that. It's after all the artifacts have been gathered, so the world's been remade, and nobody really remembers what happened before, even though all the characters are there, except for one person. And it's so fun seeing all the old characters that you knew, but in new jobs, new occupations, not having the powers they had before, or having them, but they're a lot less. But it's also really cool how the story is so much cleaner, so much nicer. It's just so well done. The mystical setting with a modern day setting. It's really good. I'm going to highly recommend this with 4.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
So I got a chance to read the first 3 issues of Sacrifice, written by Sam Humphries. The book is based around an unintentional time traveler that gets sent back to Mayan time. So this might just explain the whole reason we're going to die this year, but what it meant to me is it's very, the artwork's very reminiscent to work like Mike Allred. Dalton Rose is the one that did the artwork, and it's just really good. The story is intricately told and has a lot of moving parts. So you do want to follow this book, but read the first two, because I tried to read just the third issue and it's very confusing. I'm really glad I went back and read the first two. I'm going to give this book 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. So a book that I've been kind of excited about for a couple months now came out this week, Thief of Thieves #1. It's written by Robert Kirkman. As you all know, I'm a huge Kirkman fan, so I kind of had to pick up this book, but I read it and it's not bad. You know, the artwork is okay, and the story just kind of seems like an Ocean's 11 for comic fans, so you might like it, you might not, but eventually by the time I finished the book, I did want to read another one, so that's a good thing. I'm going to give this book 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. So the final issue to Severed came out this week. It's #7, and I have to say it is just the perfect ending to a genuinely scary story. It's visually amazing in so many different ways, and you have to read this book. Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just really good classic horror, and this is a comic you all want to read. I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I'd give it 6 if I could.
Hey there, nerds. Jasmine here with my comic reviews for the week. I just got done reading Grifter #6, and I gotta say I do really enjoy this book. The art's really great. I really enjoy the splash pages that DC artists are doing right now, especially the ones in Grifter, because they're sort of broken up and connected with all these weird little filler art sort of lines, and I really, really like it. The writing is actually really good. You don't know what you're gonna get when you look at Grifter from the outside looking in, but I guarantee you're gonna enjoy this book a lot. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Oh my glob, nerds. So I just totally read Adventure Time #1, and it blew my freaking mind, and you should check it out. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls because it's great, and it has everything I love, like Jake and Finn and pictures of me, LSP in the back. Deuces. All right, that's gonna do it for comic book news this week, but until next week, be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as nerdlocker.com for all your nerdy news. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Cubby. You guys have a nerdy week.